Well, back here is a little field, kind of a junk thing that just grew like weeds. Like, it was just terrible. It was just like waist high, chest high sticker bushes and weeds and swamp right there and rock. It's just good for nothing. It was just an area that just had ticks. So what I did is I went through a few weeks ago with the sprayer, and I just sprayed a circle, and I didn't even go all the way to the edge over there because it's just too much junk in there, mixed in there, trash and stuff. So I'm just going to do an experiment, and I'm going to spread, I got a whole bag of buckwheat here, 50 pounds of buckwheat, and I'm going to spread this whole thing in here, and hopefully the buckwheat can take over the weeds and keep this crap from growing, because I'd rather have buckwheat back here, something useful that I could turn over into something later on. But let me spread that and see what happens here. All right, here's the second location. I got all my seeds, everything ready to go, and this is after I Roundup sprayed this a few weeks ago. And I added to this, maybe only like 5 yards to the left, but I took most of it further down, closer towards the stream. You can see the difference in the color of the field. This is like, I don't know, the remnants of winter wheat and rye. I tried to mow this yesterday. I tried to scalp it, but I just made things worse. And then this was all the junk down here. It's another 40 yards I made here, added on to 40 yards all the way down. So I just mowed it, normally like you would a lawn, because when I tried to scalp it to get it down to grass, you can see up here in this part what it did. It made things worse because it actually put a whole carpet of dead grass laying flat on top of the dirt instead of like making it disappear. I'll show you up here. So this is where I scalped it, and now I have a layer of dead grass completely covering the dirt. So I just did that here, and I was like, man, this isn't working. So I stopped doing it and just cut it normal. So when you get down to here, you can still see the dirt mixed in between all the grass. So I'm just going to get the chain drag all this, the new stuff, and just broadcast the seeds and see what it does. Because like here's where this is just normal cutting, and I can see the dirt through here. So I'm thinking the seeds are still going to contact the soil. So I'll scratch it up, broadcast the seeds, and then I'll go back over it again. Let's try that. Alright, this is the bottom part here that was all weeds. I round up, and you can see it's a mess. It's going to be a terrible seed bed here. I just got a little bit more here to drag, but it's just ripping out roots of weeds, and it's not a really good seed bed. But it's a start. Was the food plot, and you can see how it's making lines. The chain drag's just making lines in this dead grass or wheat or rye, whatever it is. And I don't know if I'm going to do this again, because it seems to be hard to get rid of. You'd literally have to, it seems like you'd have to plow it up or something to get down in there again. Look what it looks like. Rather there be nothing and start with dirt every year. That's all done. It didn't, I mean, you could see the dirt, but it wasn't as good as it was last year, especially over there. Now all down there where you see it's darker, the very bottom, that's all weeds. It's weeds and clumps that the chain drag pulled out. Here there is some dirt up here. So what I think I'm going to do is this top part, I'm going to put soybeans, a whole bag. Up there I'm going to put a whole bag of soybeans. Down that bottom I'm going to put a whole bag of buckwheat, and down that bottom I'm going to put a whole bag of buckwheat. So because I don't want to waste the soybeans down there if it's not going to grow. So, and I think there's supposed to be some kind of weed inhibitor. So I'm gonna, this is the first year for that bottom part. So let's just load that up with buckwheat down there and see how this goes. All right, all planted. Soybeans on the top, buckwheat down along the bottom. I used a drag over top of it after I spread all the seeds. And we'll see what happens here. Here's my clover coming up, looking good.